Hello, this is George with Loan Saver Direct. This video is about what to expect from a lender when you are shopping for a loan. First, I would say, my name is George. I'm a lender with Loan Savers Direct located in Rancho, Cucamonga. I will tell you briefly that before I start, the things that you should expect from yourself and then what to expect from a lender. Number one, before you call a lender or start talking to lenders to get whatever you're looking for, do a little homework on the lender, because if you are calling a very good lender and know ahead that a very good lender is very busy. So if you cannot open up to tell him everything he asks for, then you're wasting his time, then he's not going to give you what you want and he's going to cut you off. So do a little homework on the lender to know that he's trustworthy. So when you call the lender, make sure to give the right information so he can give you what you're looking for and he will give you accurate answer. Now the right lender, of course, we have a video on how to check on the right lender and how to verify it's a good lender or legitimate lender. Look for that on my channel, please. Now let's get into first what to expect from yourself. What the lender would expect from you when you call him. You need, let's say, a quote or a loan estimate, and then what to expect from him after you give him what you need to give. Number one, when you call a good lender, first thing he's gonna of course introduce himself and know what you're looking for, and then he's gonna say, well, the first thing we're gonna go through a loan application. It could be on the phone, it could be in person, it could be whichever the way you want to. If he doesn't take a loan application, he cannot help with anything, because he doesn't have any information that would make sense. And any information that would give you to be accurate, he needs a loan application. So what does a loan application, briefly I'm going to say, what does it consist of? Your personal information, and be sure that he's going to ask for your date of birth and your social security number as well. So all your personal information along with your social security number and your date of birth. Second thing, your employment for the last 2 years. So if your last employment is for 1 year, he's going to ask for the previous one to make sure you have a 2 years employment consistent. And then the third thing is about your assets, where you're going to come up with a down payment, if there's going to be reserves for the loan, how much money you need to have in the account. So he'll ask you some questions about your banking, your investments, your 401k. And the last thing, he was going to ask if you own any properties, and if you do, he's going to ask the details about those properties. Once he covers all those, then everything should be fine. Then he can start to really evaluate the situation. Now that would take about 10 minutes to 15 minutes. It depends how much things you have in between all this that covers everything I mentioned. If you have several properties, if you have several investments, and so on, it all matter on how much you have. But normally it goes anywhere between 10 minutes to 15 minutes. It's done, the loan application. Once the loan application done, he's gonna send you either an email or in person, ask for a small list of documents that is not really too much. It's very simple to send to him. So that way when he releases loan estimate, he can back it up that it is solid 100% with no problem. And then he will release then you provide him these documents as a second step. Then after you provide these documents and he has taken the loan application, he'll run your credit, evaluate everything, and then you need to expect, from the moment you send the stuff, within 72 hours, a good loan officer should be sending you a loan estimate. A good loan officer will send it immediately, because he could price the deal immediately and get you numbers and let you know if the deal goes or not immediately. But it depends how busy he is. He has 72 hours to make sure a loan estimate is in your email or sent to you. Now, and this is what you should expect, that within 72 hours for sure that you will be receiving a loan estimate from the loan officer. Now here's what I would suggest. When you're looking for a loan estimate, obviously you are shopping the loan. You're trying to see this lender and this lender, which is fine. Now, I would encourage to make a fair competition between lenders. When you ask for loan estimates, don't show to other lender. So it's a fair competition. That's number one. Because otherwise, then it's unfair for the one that you have called and he's very busy and he took time and invested his time in you faithfully to give you the information, to get his rate, and go to a different loan officer and say, look, this is what he gave me, you think he can beat it? Well, of course, if you get something from somebody else and bring it to any other loan officer, he's going to do his best to beat it. And it's not that a loan officer wouldn't give you his best, but there's always somebody can beat something if you show him what others are giving. This is one. Number two, there's million banks. Loan officers work with many banks. Some banks has better service than others, better reputation than others. So if you come to a good loan officer, he likes to work with a good bank that have very good reputation. Sometimes the rate is not super competitive because he focuses on other factors than just the rate. And you might get a rate that you can go somewhere else and they will beat it, but you might be getting some bank that God knows who he is, God knows what kind of service. So it's a choice to make, of course, here. That's why when you make it a fair competition, then you will make that kind of decision. And then it's good always to say, well, at the end, why this is a little higher. Well, I'll tell you one of the reasons. Not that the loan that somebody is trying to gouge or anything. No, it's more of which bank they are using and why they are using it. I personally like to use a bank that I know that I will close the deal for the client, number one. Number two, I know the clients will be extremely satisfied after. Number three, I know the client will have excellent experience throughout the process, very smooth. And that is very important for me because this is where people appreciate what I do, and this is how I get more repeat clients. I hope this video was very helpful, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a good day.